Welcome to Two Broads and a Brit. It's not great, but it's entertaining.
Sure is.
I'm Lynn Hartram, here all by my lonesome.
Yep.
Caitlin Greer.
Hi, I'm all the way over here.
In the home of Florida Man. Reporting live from the home of Florida Man.
Here we are. I'm about to wrestle a crocodile. Alligator, crocodile, are they both here? I don't know.
I think it's just alligators, isn't it?
I don't know. Wrestle. I'm just going to wrestle.
And Lee Hazelnut.
Reporting live from a third world country in Europe called England.
Live
World
from the
country. How dramatic.
Right?
Third world. I don't see any flies flying around your face, leaning on your eyeball.
No.
All of a sudden, a person just walks in front of Lee and they're like, and for the low price of 50 cents a month, you can feed this poor young man all the chips and crackers he's ever wanted. For days. Yep. Cool. So, yeah, we're doing it a little different today because I'm all the way over here. Go, Lee, go.
It's been very different seeing Lynn sat by herself with no you next to her.
Well, I'm not completely by myself.
It is
here. Okay.
It is a little weird. We're doing a little weird stuff. It's weird that my thigh isn't grazing Lynn's thigh under the table.
I do miss it.
You got Lulu now. Go on, Lulu. Do it for Mummy.
Do it for Mummy.
Now she's moved to the other chair. She's like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, she misses
me on display. Yeah, she's turning around like, where is Caitlin?
She misses me because she would go between Lynn's lap and my lap. So no, it's just Lynn. But anyways, so today we're going to continue on with our spooky October episodes, and Lee is going to take the reins and he's going to tell us about...
It's news to me. I haven't clue what I'm doing.
The fuck?
You tell me what I'm doing. I'm stumped.
It's Ouija boards, Lee. It's Ouija boards.
Well, yeah, I thought I'd have a chat about Ouija board. Never done one myself, although I've done a mini seance with my ex-wife, her sister, and her sister's husband at the time.
Now, how does a seance become mini? Isn't it either a seance or not?
It was just a four of us. Basically,
you do it really small.
Yeah, we went on a ghost
small ghosts.
Well, what it was, we went on a ghost hunt in a place called the old Royal Navy Hospital, which is in Greenwich in London. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the night, they took us down to this great big cellar, and then basically we all had a table each. There was four of us, and there was a glass in the middle of the table, and he said, "Try and communicate with the spirits." So we started for about 20 minutes. We were all pissing about laughing,
right?
And it did start moving, but it was a simple yes or no. There was no letters or anything like that, like a Ouija board. And then we basically worked out that this spirit was a 45-year-old old Navy captain. He died on the premises. He watched his own funeral and stuff like that. It was really fascinating too. It was just like pieces of yes and no's and stuff like that. So, but it was an interesting night out, and me and Jamie were looking at each other thinking, are you moving this glass? Are you moving this glass? I'm not.
Right.
And
then the glass moves really fast and it goes, I'm Bill Wilkins. And I'm a GLASS. What? A glass, Lynn.
Oh, a glass. I thought you said a GOASS. I'm like, glass? Is that a weird British term for ghost that I'm not aware of?
No.
Yes, go-ass.
So... Yeah, it was a series of yes and no's rather than letters. Okay. But it was an interesting thing, and we drove away thinking, that was different.
That's cool.
Wasn't expected, but so I thought I'd have a chat about Ouija board, how it all became, where it started, how and how it's developed over time. So let me put my fucking bins on.
Put those bins on, you little bitch.
So I found out the Ouija board, Ouija, I should pronounce it Ouija, even though it looks like Ouija, it's Ouija. Actually, the term means good luck in ancient Egyptian.
Yeah, like good luck, bitch. You use one of these.
Good luck.
You're fucked.
You're going to fucking need it. What turns up in your house after tonight, sunshine? Right. And it's a combination of the French word for yes and the German word for yes. Oui and ja. Ouija, that's how it's spelled. So
that makes it less magical to me. Yeah. That makes it less scary when it's just yes.
But
it's the yes board.
So yes, they will.
Yes.
Will they invade your house? Yes, they will.
Yes.
They will.
Will they follow you to your grave? Yes,
they will.
And at no extra cost.
Yeah.
So I've done some digging, no pun intended, as not like the digging in the patio.
Right.
That's later. It's a bit later. That's after the show. But anyway, it basically came about in the 1800s. From what I could read after the American Civil War, a lot of spiritualism was going on in America. People wanted to reach their loved ones, just make sure that they were in the right. They'd gone to a better place and, to hear from them, stuff like that. And of course, a lot of charlatans were frauds and stuff like that and, ripping people off and stuff like that. So there's a big, long debate, is it real? Is it not? Is it, so let's go. I'll do it by time now. So 1891.
Okay.
Good old 1891.
Good old 1891.
So I'll just read it. The Ouija board that we all know and love today, it's not about love. Today was originally patented in 1891 where a businessman called Elijah Bond decided to turn the board into a toy.
Yeah.
Right? And sold it for the princely sum of, it says 75 pence here, which is about $1. So we thought, fuck this, we're going to get it out on the shelves. That's it. For me, that's a sensible thing to do.
So what were they doing before they put them in the stores? So
they were holding it in private seances.
Okay, so somebody created it randomly, and
randomly created it. They called it. They used the term parlors.
Okay,
so all the spiritualists would use it in their parlors. It was for seances and stuff like that. So, but Elijah Bond says, no, fuck this. It's going out on the shelves. It's too good to keep to ourselves.
Yeah.
So he's patented it. For those that don't know, a Ouija board comes with another little piece of equipment called a planchette, however you want to pronounce it, which is the heart-shaped thing with a little glass in it. It goes to the letters. Normal Ouija board, letters, numbers, yes, no, goodbye. Piss off might be on there as well. So anyway,
that's the Ouija board.
That's the Ouija board. It's got bollocks, twat.
Piss off.
Your ass.
Hold on to your tin helmets.
Hold on. Hold on to your
the romance in me.
The romance in me. That's the Ouija board.
Fucking hell. No, I didn't realise I was so predictable.
No, I love you.
1901. We're going forward 10 years. Now, an employee of Elijah Bond, a bloke called William Fold, he says, well, you know what? I'm taking over the board now. I'm having a piece of this. So he starts his own production. So he basically carries the board on, and it's this guy, William Fold, spelled F-U-L-D. He's called like the godfather of the Ouija board today as we know it. So he's, took more advancements and stuff like that. So, so he's taking it on. Bit about William Fold. He says he was an American businessman, inventor, entrepreneur from Baltimore. So something decent has come out of Baltimore, finally.
For once. Sorry, Baltimore.
Not sorry, Baltimore.
Kind of weird. I've never been, so either. But
it's Baltimore.
It's not like me to be judgmental in these towns.
Right.
He's best known for his marketing and manufacture of Ouija boards from the 1890s through to the 1920s. Fold is seen as the father of the Ouija board. So he's made his name for it. So he's put his own stamp on it. He said, right, I'm taking it over from now. Fast forward to 1966. So it's quite a jump now. 1966. Parker Brothers, who make the board games, Parker Brothers. So the guy in charge of the Parker Brothers has said, got a big meeting going on, a big, ballroom meeting, stood up, cleared his throat and said, you know what, lads, what this company needs, what this fucking company needs, there's a board game where we can summon the dead.
You know what kids 6 and up need? They need to be able to summon the demons because those kids aren't little demons enough.
I'm not going to be talked out of it. Every home in the land needs a board game where you can summon Satan. It can come into your lounge, throw things about, and generally get on everyone's fucking tits.
Hell yeah!
So what is it going? A show of hands went up and said, you know what? That's a smashing idea. We'll fucking have some of that. Thank you very much.
Nice.
So Parker Brothers basically bought the rights. They bought the patent, got it out in the shops, and then they sort of like, from there, it was like became really, really common in the 60s.
Right.
Now, what I also read was that a child as young as 10 could go out and buy a Ouija board.
Yeah, isn't it like
ages 8 and up or something? Isn't
6
it?
and up or 8 and up? Well, I guess it would be 8 because not all 6-year-olds know how to spell.
Right.
Yeah. So you can't drink till you're 21 in America, but you can go out and summon up Satan.
Right.
It's marvelous.
Deal with the devil.
This is why I love America so much. It's really, it gets you there. It really does. Parker Brothers. So they've the trademark. They've taken on the trademark of the term Ouija as well, even though it's actually technically a talking board or a spirit board. They've taken on, the term Ouija. Even though it's a bit like the way I was reading it last night, thinking like, if I said to you, go and Google the answer, you wouldn't necessarily use Google. You could use Bing or other search engines, but it's becoming a household name. It's like,
who uses Bing?
Yeah, no one.
The real question.
Did the British use Ask Jeeves?
Me and Jeeves are like that, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
There's nothing he doesn't know. Nothing he doesn't know. So anyway, fast forward to 1991, right? Parker Brothers have had their share of it. They thought, you know what? Big board meeting going on in Hasbro, make the board games. Bloke in charge of Hasbro says, you know what, lads? What this company needs.
I really hope all of these meetings that you describe in every episode go these ways. Like, you know what, lads?
Right? Once again, cleared his throat, said, lads, I think we should take this company that step further. We need to, manufacture board games that, where demonic entities can come in, shake things up, and just basically make people shat themselves throughout the night. And for very long periods of time.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with this. I really don't see a problem.
Show of hands went up. I said, yeah, smashing idea. We'll have that as well. So Hasbro have now taken it on from Parker Brothers. And to this day, from what I could learn, they've still got it.
Hasbro has the rights to the Ouija. To the Yes board.
I'm so sorry if you guys can hear Steve yelling in the background.
Oh.
He's going bananas.
That's okay. Minnie's downstairs. She's yelling too, so it's okay. We got a lot of yelling animals.
Well, I've got someone yelling in my cupboard, but they are gapped, which is fair.
No, stop it.
So funny.
So there are generally sort of 3 school of thoughts with the Ouija board. Basically, it's boils down to one of 3 things. I wrote out 1, that it's all a sham, it's all out of bollocks, and the person with their hand on the planchette is sneakily moving it around.
Yeah,
that's one theory. Yeah.
Right.
2, they're a genuine portal to the spiritual world. Or 3, they're possessed by demons who should be fucked about with.
Yeah. Zozo.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. So I looked up about half a dozen sort of interesting Ouija board stories last night, My favourite one I'll save to the end because my mum told it to me when I was about 8 or 9, when my mum was, getting all these paranormal books out of the library. So anyway, the first one was about a spirit called Eugene. Yeah, Eugene the spirit. Yeah.
What if Eugene sounded like this? Hey, I'm Eugene.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Eugene. I'm here to haunt your house.
So, hold on to your chin helmet. Here we go. So this is a story of Eugene coming through the Ouija board. So I'm going to read. So basically, while drinking like only teenagers can, a group of siblings and their respective partners contacted spirit one evening called Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We asked, "Why are you contacting us, Eugene?" We received the answer: "Afraid."
Afraid.
That seemed a bit more serious. We asked, "Why are you afraid, Eugene?" It replied, "Music, music, music."
Several times.
Over and over.
Music.
Okay. Nonsense. Then we got a series of numbers. Very puzzling. Right? So one of the siblings had a great idea. Thought, well, is it coordinates? No. Why don't we switch on the radio to the numbers? Because it'd be the radio channel.
Yep.
So they've done that. Indicated by the numbers, and there was a station there. The song "Don't Leave Me Stranded" by Heart was playing, at the time. I thought my brother was just playing off what he was hearing and was screwing me. Then it started saying, "Don't go, don't leave me, don't go, church, church, afraid." So that's
I'm afraid of church too, Eugene.
Yeah. We assumed if it wasn't going to go, but it dwindled into nonsense after a while. Okay. So it was getting really late. We decided to go to bed. The next afternoon, while everyone was eating their breakfast, the family's dad received a phone call letting him know that his uncle Eugene had died of a heart attack the previous night and died multiple times on the table, only to be revived early that morning. He had been terrified of dying because he hadn't attended church in decades.
Oh.
And the song was by the band Heart.
Yes.
And he had a heart attack.
Yes. So that's
that's fucking awesome. That's so fucking go get him, Eugene. Damn.
And the back they kept saying afraid, church.
Yeah, well, he's going to hell. Sorry.
Yeah, so there's good old Eugene.
My man, Eugene.
This next one is actually to do with Britain's last witch.
Okay.
Technically.
Britain's last witch. Okay.
Britain's last witch reveals a military secret. In 1941, psychic Helen Duncan was approached by a mother looking for news of her son. Her son was a soldier in the British Royal Navy. So Helen held a seance to conjure up any spirits with the news of the man. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, Helen revealed the young man had been lost in the sinking of the battleship HMS Barham. Okay. The unusual part of that, the ship sinking hadn't yet been revealed to the public to prevent a loss of morale in the difficult days of World War II. I don't know if America used to do that, but Britain used to do it. So any heavy losses overseas, they would help hold back in the newspapers. They didn't want it bad morale.
No, America.
There's a video of it here.
They put, they're like, look at this live footage of your family.
Live from Vietnam.
You ever heard of napalm? Here, you want to see it?
Yeah. Among the people at the seance were 2 lieutenants of the Navy. They were immediately suspicious of Helen, and 2 undercover policemen later attended another seance. They promptly arrested Helen, and she was tried under Section 4 of the Witchcraft Act of 1735, which forbade fraudulent spiritual activity, making her the last person to be tried for witchcraft, even fake witchcraft.
What? What? Step back, buddy. Fake witchcraft? What is fake witchcraft?
Well, it doesn't actually say in this story where if it was actually true, whether that guy actually died on that ship. It just stops right there. But it's Yeah.
Fake witchcraft is.
So that's well, and it being an imposter.
Fake witchcraft is when you don't have an idea of what to make a joke about, so you're just stalling right now, which is what I'm doing. Next story. Let's go.
It doesn't follow on to say what actually happened to the woman's son, who she was actually trying to. But now whether he was actually on that ship or not, I don't know. Wasn't revealed.
Quick little side note.
Go on.
Not long after that, they repealed the witchcraft law
in England.
Okay.
Yeah, because come on.
Yeah. That's true. It says before the Act's repeal in 1951.
1951?
You're talking to a fucking
10 years later.
witch.
I know. Yeah. She's a witch.
Yeah.
Burn her. She turned me into a newt.
I'm not a witch.
I got better.
I got better.
This one, I think you really will wet your whistle. This one.
Don't you tell me what's going to wet my whistle.
Well, this one, your tin helmet's on. That's good. So a fake seance. This one involves a fake seance. This is a good one. I like this one. This tickled me.
Okay.
A fake seance gets too real for this magic shop employee. Okay, Bradford J. Angus.
Good old Bradford
J. Angus. Old Bradford J. Angus.
There he is.
He owns a magic store, and he's an employee, and he's a psychology student. Got more than he bargained for when a customer paid him $100 to put on a fake scary seance, complete with sounds and visuals. Okay. So with the aid of the partner, good old Bradford set out to create an entirely fabricated seance that felt real. Okay. He pulled it off without a hitch, with disembodied voices speaking predictions about the attendees' loved ones from a mist that gathered in the centre of the table. Okay. Once it was over, Angus attempted to help his partner disconnect all the equipment that they used to provide all the special effects, only to find out that his sidekick and the equipment had been locked out of the room the entire time. So, that one I liked. So whatever had happened during the seance, it wasn't thanks to their planned antics. So I like that one.
How bad do you have to be at doing something to set up something fake and have it fail, and you don't even know that it failed? How bad?
It's not even in the room.
Yeah, you're like, oops, I forgot. I forgot the important part of the whole thing. Oh, wait, it wasn't here? Oh, shit. I like that he was from New Jersey.
Yeah, right?
What? It wasn't here? Kit? Suck my asshole, dude. Go on.
We've lost Lee.
On that happy note, right. This one, Ouija boards as well, not only can they make people shat themselves on the spot, they can predict the future as well. A lot of them, say, you're going to die in this accident or whatever. So this one says, an eerie prediction turns a skeptic into a believer. Okay. While you can't trust everything a Ouija board tells you, this user discovered there might be more truth to a prediction than meets the eye. According to the post, this particular person asked the spirit they are connected with to make a prediction about a future news event, to which the spirit replied, die, spelt D-I for one word, then D-I-E, over and over and over and over again, as the cause of death, with Paris as the location. Okay, the user didn't understand. They lived in Ohio. Okay, I'm not going to say anything about Ohio before you ask.
I don't know. Well, Lynn, we will offend Bill if we talk about Ohio.
I don't think so.
There you go. I can't.
And fuck you, Ohio. Suck it, Columbus. Nobody cares about you, Dayton.
A month later, Princess Diana of Wales died in tragic car accident in Paris.
Oh, R.I.P.
There you go. So that's one, for a Ouija prediction. This took place in Cambridge, Minnesota in 2006. it says when a person was 12 years old. Okay. It said they just started 7th grade. They had a combination of 2 types of paranormal things happen. It was a Saturday afternoon, and they was bored. Okay, so you know what we do? You get the Ouija board out, didn't you?
Right, of course.
You know,
That's what I used to do.
What sensible people do. It said that their best friend Becca was over. We took out the Ouija board they got for Christmas. I had asked the board, what was I in my past life? Good question. Joking, thinking that these things don't really exist. So the board started moving. The board started to spell out a name, Rebecca Lynn Peltzmiller. Was that?
Peltzmiller?
Peltzmiller.
Peltzmiller?
Peltzmiller. That's all it said. Peltzmiller.
Okay.
Peltzmiller.
Okay.
We tried asking another question. Will I meet anyone in my past life here? It spelled out yes. Who? The glass started moving. Vincent Daniel Douglas.
Okay.
So they're 2 random names.
Right.
2 years went on. This particular person still hadn't met this Vincent Douglas.
Right.
They joined a local musical because they were a bit of an actress. The guy that they acted with was a name called Danny Douglas. It was very strange. We had never met before, but I felt like we had known each other all our lives. So I asked him if Danny was his real name. He laughed and said his first name was Vincent, a family name that had been passed down through generations.
Aww.
So there you go. So that was 2 years after the Ouija board predicted.
That's sweet. That's a nice one.
True. This is the last one, but this is my favourite one. This is the one that I read in my mum's book. So my mum. Now this book was made in 1979.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was 8 at the time. I remember my mum reading this book. It's called "I've Seen a Ghost: True Stories from Show Business." So everyone's famous names in show business, actors, DJs, whatever.
DJs?
All share. Yeah, this one's from a DJ.
All right.
They're all sharing their paranormal events with ghosts.
Is it DJ Jazzy Jeff?
No, this one.
The Fresh Prince?
Not in 1979.
No.
So this is. I don't know if you're. This guy was very, very famous in Britain. His name is Kenny Everett. Okay. Now
Kenny Everett.
Good old Kenny Everett. He's dead now. He died of AIDS, sadly. He was very, very good friends with Freddie Mercury.
Explains it.
Yeah, it's both died of AIDS. So,
sorry.
If you've seen the film Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny Everett. There's a guy playing Kenny Everett in that film. Do you remember when Freddie Mercury starts opening up about his homosexuality to a DJ?
Yes.
That DJ was Kenny Everett.
Oh, all right. That's cool.
Yeah, that's who he's meant to be. So Kenny Everett, this has stayed with me, this story from childhood. So I Googled it last night, and I got the full lowdown of this story. So now, bearing in mind, this book was written in 1979. So I don't know. It doesn't say when this story happened, but it's an age of before internet and mobile phones, and to fake this would have been extremely, extremely difficult. It said these are Kenny's words in the book. This I found astonishing. It happened when we were staying at Pete Asher's house in Surrey, near Rossborough. Pete Asher is a British musician.
Yep.
And so Kenny Everett, he was a DJ. He was he had his own comedy show on TV. He was BBC radio disc jockey. Very, very well known, very liked. So it happened when we were staying at Pete Asher's house in Surrey. It looks rather like a Chinese house, all made of paper walls and bits of stick. It was by a lake, an 8-acre lake with 2 islands on it. We had a cameraman and his assistant staying with us, and we decided to have a go with the Ouija board. Well, the cameraman got a message through from his girlfriend. He turned around and said, "That's odd. She's not dead." And she said, by means of the Ouija board, that she died that day. She'd taken a load of pills and she was in Bicester mortuary. He couldn't believe it. He thought we were messing about with a Ouija board, though I don't think any of us would have been quite as cool as that. So the cameraman immediately rang his girlfriend's dad. Her dad picked up the phone and was in tears because she had just taken a load of pills and he had taken her to the mortuary. The cameraman had been with us for 2 days. The phone hadn't rung, and there was no way he could have known. That's my personal favourite.
That's wild. That's wild. Yeah.
That's
super wild.
That's the creme de la creme in Ouija board stories. I've always remembered that story from my mum telling me that story and me reading the book after mum. That's the best Ouija board story I've ever heard, that one.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, that is crazy.
What I also found out is there is a shit ton of different type of Ouija boards as well. I mean, there's
really?
It's really developed over the years. People have added things to it and taken bits away, or not the Ouija board.
The Ouija board. I'm gonna get a new business. Yep. Yeah.
Bugger off. Piss off, yeah.
Did Caitlin get a piss off finally?
Yeah.
Yes. That means we're real friends. You're no longer being nice to me just because you're supposed to. That's what I've been waiting for.
You wanna, if you want to go to this website, I had a good look at this website. It's called www.museumoftalkingboards.com. It's brilliant.
Okay.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Right.
It's just got pictures of all the different Ouija boards over time.
That's cool.
You could think, well, how different can they get? But they are so different. They're different colours, different make of wood. The fonts are different on each, and where it's sort of developed.
Right.
What was that website again?
It's called museumoftalkingboards.com. It's really good. Have a look at it. But that is, it was. I used to have a T-shirt with a Ouija board on it.
That's cool.
I bought that in America.
Did you wear it around so people could just like touch your chest?
Well, I wanted people to stroke my nipples.
That's it. That's where the yes and the no were. You're just asking a bunch of yes and no questions, and you're like, yes, no.
Are you on the website now, Lynn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds thrilling.
I'm trying to find the pictures of
Well,
of talking boards. Okay.
Yeah.
If I find some, we'll share some cool pictures. We'll share some different ones.
That's really the tales from the Ouija board, really.
That's really cool.
My favourite one was Kenny Everett one. That's the one that's always stood out for me. Would I actually do it? No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
Never?
No.
That's funny because I was just going to ask, when you come to America the next time and I come back and we are all together, I was going to be like, we should do a special Ouija board edition.
Well,
but if you're not interested,
my house,
then it's going to be me and Lynn.
I don't know. I mean, certainly wouldn't do it. This house is 400 years old, so I mean, fuck knows what went on in here. But
all the bodies in your patio.
Last night,
all the bodies in your patio would be like,
that's why Lee doesn't want to do it.
We hate Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah. That's what they would say.
They might grass me up. I might get busted. But I just read too many horror stories last night. It's just one after another. I mean, there's never any good stories about it. You only ever read
how to do it correctly.
You only ever read bad horror stories. You type in Ouija board tales or Ouija board stories, they're all good reasons why you shouldn't fucking touch it.
Yeah, I've never done anything for a bat. Like,
you would have me here.
There's also, well, I trust you, Lynn. I know you don't trust me, Lynn, but that's another thing. I'm working on that. But what I also found last night was a lot of stories on a demonic entity. Now, this was new to me.
Zozo.
Yeah, Zozo. But who the fuck is this Zozo? Keeps turning up.
That's the least scary name for a demon ever. It's Zozo the demon. Come on down. It's Zozo.
Like a cartoon character, like a clown.
Yeah.
Zozo.
Again and again, Zozo, this Zozo character kept turning up.
I love how you call him a character, the Zozo character.
Well,
I'm letting Zozo.
I don't know what it is. So he keeps turning up uninvited. He never wipes his feet. Bad manners, that. If you ask me. Not only that, then he comes in and starts throwing things about the fucking lounge. Well, you can't have that.
I wouldn't put up with that shit.
I do the same thing.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
that's true.
I come in, I don't wipe my feet, I throw shit around.
You know.
I put my feet on the coffee table.
We know who Zozo is now.
I'm ho-ho. I'm
Ho-ho.
I personally wouldn't do one myself.
You wouldn't? You don't think so?
No.
That's okay.
You know.
You can watch.
Now you can get, what I also found is that you can get a Ouija board on an app.
No.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, so you can actually download a demon now. It's marvellous.
Download.
You can download it. You don't need a glass. You can just download it now. It's marvellous.
That was an episode of something. What was it? I don't think it was Supernatural. I can't remember now. But there was like...
Satan has gone digital.
All right, guys, I'm going to download this and we're going to ask it a question.
Yes, do. Yeah. I have a spirit board, like a pendulum spirit board.
I feel like the app is way funnier because, like, how does it even work? Isn't it like you channel your energy into the whole situation and like your energy and all that kind of stuff? But like my iPhone is going to be like, oh,
I've got an idea. So I have a pendulum board, right? A little tiny spirit board.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only like yes or no or don't know, but we could ask yes or no questions and see if they both come up with the same thing.
Get it?
Okay, and that's generally what I have to say about the Ouija board and, you know, downloading Satan, you know, half a dozen stories, where the Ouija board came from, what went on at the board meetings, pun intended, you know, how it became what it is today, who shat themselves during the Ouija board.
Nice.
So that's just generally the end of it, really. So I hope you enjoyed it.
Good job. That was great.
Thanks, Lee.
In answer to, I wouldn't do one myself. I'd rather, you know.
Too bad.
We're going to do
it right now.
I'd rather put my penis in a crocodile's mouth.
What? I'm in Florida. I can arrange that.
Right. She can send one your way.
Lovely. Hold me back. Yeah, so that's generally it.
Okay. Yeah. So that's really awesome. And you did a great job. I love all those stories. They're super scary, but now we're inspired.
Yes.
So you told me that there was an app for a Ouija board. So I downloaded the app. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who are just listening to the podcast, we'll try and do a detailed description of what's happening. So
that looks cool.
This is what the app looks like. Mm-hmm. It has a bunch of warnings before you start it. It's like,
does it?
Be prepared. This is how you do it. Make sure you do goodbye. Blah, 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 blah. And then Lynn has... board.
I do. It's a little spirit board. It's for a pendulum. So it's a little bit different. You can see that it's just yes or no. This is not necessarily a part of it. It's actually a veve. It's part of voodoo. But so it's the yes or no questions. And then if it just kind of goes like this or back and forth, that usually just means like they're not answering or it's an I don't know question.
Right.
So we're going to do yes or no questions.
So we're going to do a segment called Apps versus Reality.
The only thing I've got in front of me is a small glass of Coke.
I thought that was a shot. And I was like, what is happening?
Shot of bourbon.
Lee said he didn't want to participate in Ouija board stuff, so Lynn and I decided we were going to do it anyways.
Right.
We love you, Lee.
What just to quickly add a side note, what I kept finding in the stories last night is that the worst thing that you can do is burn the Ouija board.
Yeah, you're not supposed to burn it.
That's true, yeah.
You're not supposed to burn it.
Bury it, right? Are you supposed to bury it?
Bury it.
I don't know. I mean, well, I've buried enough things under the patio. I don't think
what's one more?
Right.
Well, it's getting full. It's getting really full out there.
Well, then you're going to have to get a bigger patio.
Right.
Well, there's the walls.
You could put salt on it too. You can put salt on it, cover it.
No, that's what I read as well, that a group of girls did a seance and they put round a ring of salt.
Mm-hmm.
That is meant to be like a fuck off.
Oh my God. Every episode Lee gets attacked by the windsock that he has hanging on his back.
He fucking gets on my fucking tits every week. I should take it down. But anyway, sorry, sidetracking. They put this ring of salt around them. It's meant to be like a layer of protection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can do layers of protection, but
I'm going in.
I'm going up. It's open.
I'm raw dogging this
Got
Ouija
nothing.
board.
Me too. But I do mine all the time. So
going in raw. All right, you're going to ask a question, Lynn? What do we ask?
I don't know. I didn't know that I'm going to ask a question. How do you do it? You just put your finger on it?
It says place finger on planchet to start.
Well, see, now yours won't know yet that it's a yes or no question. So
I think I have to ask the question because it listens to my voice.
Okay, so yeah, you ask the question.
Okay.
So, is Bill Wilkins here?
Mine takes a second.
I love the fact that he's got yes and no on the Ouija board. And if you say, is there anyone here?
You're getting it. I'm getting literally nothing. This app sucks.
Are you doing it right?
Oh, wait. It says keep the finger on the I'm trying.
I wish I could show you this, so you could see my little raven's head is going, no.
Oh. You know what? This is a crock of shit.
Yeah.
Well, he's not there, is he? You've asked a question.
All right. So do you want to see something that's actually very cool with the pen?
Yes, I do.
We don't necessarily have to show this if you guys don't want to. But
no, I want to see it.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry, you're going to get my boobs in the shot too, but hold on. I'm trying to
Oh, wait. It's doing things on its own.
It is? What's it saying?
It says numbers.
Hang on. Fucking hell.
It's just going to all the different letters right now. Oh, it just went.
It went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it went blank because I didn't say goodbye. So now I'm haunted forever and ever.
Fantastic. And ever. Okay, so let's see. So when you do a pendulum, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So the first time, have you done this? You have one, right, Lee?
I've got one. Yeah, I've got one.
Have you ever done it, Caitlin?
No.
Okay, so when you first get a pendulum, so you try to hold as still as you can. Obviously, you're not going to be completely still, but and because I'm talking, it's a little bit more. But so you would say to the pendulum when you first have it, show me no.
We're all secretly, quietly looking for a no.
Right.
And the pendulum's moving. I'm going to do a play-by-play.
And then you can say, show me it bigger.
Stop. Nuh-uh! Get the fuck... What? Listen, bitches who are just listening. The shit's for real.
Show me yes. And you can see my arm on the table. That's the one that's holding.
Right. And your fingers are completely still. Yes, I said fingers, like a 2-year-old.
My fingers are my fingers completely still, pendulum? Now it's saying yes. Show me bigger. Yeah. Show me really big. Stop.
That's so cool. That thing's going wild.
Stop.
So what controls that?
Well, there's different theories. Hold on. Let me get back to my face. There's different theories. Some people say it's your subconscious because you are doing minute movements. I mean, nobody's hand is completely still. Right. Other people say that basically you're channeling, so it's coming through you, the answers, whether it's via a spirit or the collective unconscious. We don't really know. So, or demon or whatever. I mean, anything could be influencing you, really.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, you do get responses and it will start and stop, and
that's pretty cool.
Pretty crazy.
Any questions? I should have. No. Now I put on the spot, and I don't know what to say.
I took mine into work.
Yeah.
When I worked in Lisa, Chris, and George, but I took it in, and Chris wasn't sold on the fact that because my hand was all over the place, really.
Yeah.
But it's the same for me when I said, right, well, show me yes, and it's basically forward and back.
Yeah.
Show me no is side to side.
Yeah. Sometimes it'll do circles.
My hand isn't steady at all.
You can do let's see. You might be able to see. I'm going to see if I can get my hand and most of it in. You may not be able to see the board. So if
you move further back, if you,
I can't. The table doesn't go that far. Hold on, let me move the computer back a little further.
Yeah.
I don't knock the light.
Don't push it off.
I've got dowsing rods as well, Lynn.
Oh yeah,
I've got dowsing rods. They're good.
Okay, so you can see it mostly. Hold on, it's all messed up. All right, so let's see. Show me yes.
And a hush falls over the crowd. I love this shit, Lee. I love it. And you know what my favorite part of it is you get to say, show me bigger.
Right? Yeah. Show me big. Yes. Show me bigger.
Well, you know what, Caitlin, when I bought
really big,
there's a saying, help me out if I've got this wrong, but when I was in this new age shop in New York State.
Thank you.
And the guy in the shop said, when you go to buy one, you don't pick the pendulum. The pendulum picks you.
That is true. That is true. Some of
really, it's like Harry Potter.
Yeah,
it's like Harry Potter and your wand.
Yes, this one went crazy right away. This one and the board with it went crazy right away.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so neat. Well, this is really neat. I've learned so much.
So do you want to have any questions? Let's think of some questions. Let's make it fun.
What is this for the Ouija board or for the pendulum?
Are you going to want to try the Ouija board again?
No, because it sucks. It literally just it's the worst. So let's just.
You want to just do the pendulum?
Yeah.
All right. Here, let me. Okay, so let's see. Let's think of some questions. Let me just kind of. So at least you can kind of see the pendulum. There you go. You can see it, right? So I wish you could carry on the pendulum with it, but.
Will I return to America next year?
Will Lee return to America next year? Show him really big so he can see. That's yes.
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. Listeners, all 2 listeners. Holy, I'm losing it.
All 2 listeners is me and Lynn.
You guys, I'm losing my mind.
It's Caitlin losing her mind. It's saying, I don't know.
That's pretty accurate.
It's going in a circle. That's hilarious.
Oh my God. I can't think. I'm literally so excited that I can't. My brain is blanking.
Okay.
Because this is awesome.
Will Caitlin sell her house quickly?
Yeah.
Oh, that went yes right away.
Oh, fuck my life. Good. Will I find a house that I actually like today?
Okay, there you go. Will Caitlin find a house today? That's a no. Sorry. Not today. Okay. Will Caitlin find a house within the next month, let's say? Yes.
Good. Well, I have to because my house is apparently going to sell very quickly.
Right.
For listeners, I'm moving.
Right.
I'm moving, everybody. I'm moving to Florida. So that means you have to find a new home. Turns out that's harder than you think. Because everyone in Florida is a big fan of columns.
Well, Caitlin meets.
It's like the Romans. The Romans came back and built every home in the 1980s. That's exactly what the decor of.
I've got a question for the pendulum.
Okay, go for it.
Will Lee carry on insulting people and towns in the future shows?
At first it was saying, I don't know. Now it's, hold on. Now it's saying yes. It's really big. Let us really know the answer to this question here.
It's really funny. Look how fast it goes.
Hey, yeah.
It can get really big too. Show them really big.
And your hand, I'm looking at your hand, they're steady as hell, that.
Stiff as a board.
Yeah.
I'm like holding my breath.
Hard. Her hand is as stiff as my dick right now. That shit is like... I am like,
sorry.
Ooh. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's hilarious.
As always, Caitlin, you're a lady to the manor born.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really my mom's so proud. I make my mother proud. So that was really cool. Thank you for showing us that, Lynn.
Sure. Thanks for Lynn.
We'll definitely play with that when I come back. I'm super into it.
Yeah, definitely.
That was really fun. And we got to look at Lynn's boobs for a little while, which was also really fun. So
you're welcome.
Yep.
I do what I can.
Well, thank you, Lee, for doing all the homework and finding the fun stories because it really was super fun. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yes,
I'm super into it.
No, I enjoyed research.
And like,
what?
yeah, And I know that most people, you know what, all I can think of when I first think of Ouija boards is The Exorcist, because that's like where my brain goes to. Yeah. So now I'm going to be thinking about Captain Howdy all day long.
Captain Howdy.
Because that's Captain Howdy.
Okay.
And Rick, that was the guy from The Exorcist. That was the Ouija board guy.
Oh, was it?
Yes, it was Captain Howdy. Yes.
Oh, okay. Right.
I just remember it because Reagan, her voice is super annoying before she gets possessed. And she's just like, it's Captain Howdy. Oh, Mom, I met Captain Howdy.
Oh, God.
And then, ugh. God, hurry up and get some devil in you, woman. It's just the worst. On that note, thanks, Lee. Thank you for doing the homework.
Thanks, Lee. Good job.
Thanks, Lynn, for doing a little bit of spooky stuff over there.
Anytime.
What's it called? The pendulum board? What's it called?
Spirit board. A spirit board, yeah.
Spirit board. So thank you for showing us the spirit board.
You're welcome.
Thank you, app makers, for making the worst Ouija board app full of advertisements and no spirits. None.
Wah.
But I didn't end it correctly, so if I die mysteriously, blame the app. I blame the app. Per usual, thanks for listening. Go do all the stuff. Like, subscribe, tell your friend, tell your doctor. Dr. Fucking Nuts preferably. Tell your Ouija board. Or don't, because then maybe Zozo. I don't fucking know. And then I just think I recommend that you settle in, have a nice glass of wine, get really comfortable.
Yeah.
And then go fuck yourselves. So that's it. Goodbye. Ta-da!
Good night. Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing.
Razzle dazzle.
Goodbye. Oh, what's the matter? I can't hear you. Give me a second and I'll figure it out.
It's the figure it out part I had to press it for.
So disgusting.
What? I can't hear you. I have an ear infection.
Give me a second. I'll figure it out.